Hey guys. Hello. It's that time again for a new YouTube video, you guys. You know, I had a conversation yesterday while doing my live readings about discipline and how some states will actually arrest the parents for yelling, disciplining their children in any form. I don't know what states are like that. I was told Tennessee and California. Um, you know, I personally am glad I do not live in a state that is like that. I feel that children not being disciplined is one of the biggest reasons so many children are rude, obnoxious, have no consideration for anyone else, let alone the elders. It's like, we throw a tablet or a phone or the TV on in front of them, and we basically let the TV raise them. And face it, you guys, TVs are not what you call the best role model. There's cussing and a lot of sex and stuff of that nature. And I know parents aren't perfect. We all cuss and carry on. We all have our flaws, and that's okay. Having flaws is okay. No one's meant to be perfect, But when you're raising children, if you can't discipline them, what are you supposed to do besides bail them out when they go to jail? To me, if we're not disciplining our children, we're allowing them to basically run over us and, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, run over us and, think that they rule the roost. I'm really scared for the next few generations, honestly, with, how, kids they're not disciplined at all. I've seen some kids just completely disrespect elderly, cause them to fall, cuss them out, call them all sorts of names. I've seen kids hit their parents. I've seen kids call their parents names that no child should be calling an adult, let alone their parent. Um, you know, I've dealt with other children that are very disrespectful, very rude, have no regard for anyone or anything else. They just don't care. And I really think if we were to start disciplining our children, stop relying so much on TV and tablets and telephones, a lot of the problems with kids are the fact that they're so involved in the internet. And yes, I know that seems like a very big oxymoron. I'm saying that and I'm posting this on the internet, right? But what if we did like we used to do? Even if it was just an hour a day, you have to put it down. You have to go outside. You have to read a book. Honestly, my children, they have phones that they've acquired from friends that their friends' parents told them they could give the phone away and bought them a new phone because it had a crack in the screen or something. And of course, my kids took it. They use Wi-Fi to download games and stuff like that, but my children have been told flat out, if you want a phone with service, you're going to have to work, earn the money, make the money, and buy your own phone cards and get a prepaid phone, because I'm not adding you to like a regular bill type thing and then you not be able to pay your portion when I have enough bills to pay as it is, and you wanting a cell phone is not a necessity. In a way, yes, the cell phone is a necessity. It is, in a way. Especially with the way people are getting snatched and things of that nature. But at the same time, if parents would do things like a lockbox, we have one rule in our house that at dinner time, no phone, no internet, period, until everyone's done eating. When we're all done eating, you can have your phone back. But then when we have family nights, while we're watching a movie or playing games or whatever, our phones are put in the middle of the table. The first person to touch the phone has to clean up. And the same goes for after dinner. The only time it's acceptable is whether or not my parents call, because Unfortunately, my husband's parents are both passed on. So, we know if it's one of my parents, we need to answer. It could be something wrong. But if it's just they want to shoot the crap and talk and hang out or whatever, we tell them, we're having family time. I'll call you back in a little bit. And they're okay with that. You have to make boundaries. You have to make rules. And it took me a long time to learn to stick to them. With my oldest, I wanted to be his friend. I wanted to be that cool mom. And then as I had the rest of my children, I learned, that just because you're strict and you give them guidelines and you're leading them towards a better education and a better tomorrow, basically, it doesn't mean you're a bad parent. In fact, you're a better parent because you're giving them the push they need. You're guiding them in the right direction. Guys, we've got to start disciplining our youth. This morning, my son tried to test me. He's 16, 6'3", 235 pounds. He bucked up in my face and acted like he was going to push me. Now, when I stand, I am 5'7", and I am a heavy person. I've stated this a few times. But my son is as strong as an ox. My son can pick up the front end of a car and hold it for about a minute without breathing hard, without going hurry up or anything like that. So this morning he was told that when he thinks he's got the balls, he can step down those steps and he will no longer be my son. And when he asked me what I meant by that, and I said to him, well, I love you, I'll do anything for you except for take your disrespectfulness. He said, yeah. I said, yeah. He said, yes, ma'am. I said, okay. I said, but when you make that conscious chance to go down those steps and challenge me, you're no longer my son. In that moment, you become a full-grown man that I don't know, and I need to defend myself. He kind of looked at me, and he walked away, and he came back, and he goes, well, it's 6:30, I gotta watch for the bus. That's a bus? He goes, oh yeah, because he's homeschooled now. So, he can't watch for the bus. He can't get away. We had a lot of issues last year in public school, so he's being homeschooled. And he was like, well, I'm going to go start my assignments. And I was like, okay, go start your assignments. I went back there after the other kids left, and I said to him, so why'd you get all weird? And he goes, because I don't need Medea coming to see me. And I kind of looked at him, and he goes, Mama, when you're mad, you remind me of Miss Medea on those movies. And I started laughing. And then he said, but at the same time, I know you would never hurt me. Now, he's right to a point. I would never hurt any of my children. But I will not tolerate the disrespect. I will not allow the hatefulness. We talked about it, I explained it to him, and he apologized, I apologized, we were both out of line. But it takes that communication, discipline and communication with children. We always tell our children, you treat people with respect. But guys, respect is not given, it's earned. And if you can't treat your children with the same respect you want them to treat you with, they can't learn anything from you. And I'm not saying sit there and kiss their ass. Oops, butt. Don't sit there and kiss their butt. But, if you ask them to do something for you, say please. If they do it, thank you. It's just common courtesy. That's all it is. It's common courtesy. You're walking through a store and somebody bumps into you. And me, I'm the smart butt. I'll look at them and go, excuse you. And I get these looks of, who do you think you're talking to? And I'll look at them and go, well, ma'am, sir, you just bumped into me. I was minding my own business. I tried to go around you, and you still bumped into me. Excuse you. Most of the time they say, excuse me. Some run their mouth. I run mine right back. You have to pick your battles. We can't win all of them. And kids learn from us. So we have to be, what we want our kids to be. And we have to be willing to teach them. But how the government likes to dictate whether or not we can discipline our children makes a big thing in that. For those that can't discipline their children, I have no idea how you guys deal with your kids. I could not deal with the yelling and the temper tantrums and the bucking up, and I personally could not do it. I'd be in jail. Really, I would. So I condemn you that are in a state that you can't discipline your children. But, how do you do it? And how do you know that your child's not going to end up in jail? How do you not have that fear? Honestly, there's a huge difference between discipline and abuse. Discipline is a stern tone, maybe yelling to get their attention. Discipline is popping them, but not leaving marks. Discipline is taking a belt and smacking a table to scare them, but never using it on the child themselves. If you use it on the child themselves, don't leave marks. You can discipline a child without needing a belt, or paddle, or spatula, or spoon, whatever you choose to use. You don't need it. My kids, I threaten to beat my kids' butts all the time. Do I do it? No. Why do I not do it? Because after, say probably 12 years, yeah, it's a little late, but after 12 years with 4 kids, I finally developed my mother tone. And I learned how to use it and how to control it. And they know when I'm done, I'm done. And I don't tolerate stupidness. So you have to make sure they know what you'll allow and what you don't. Guys, we gotta get our youth back. We gotta get everything right or we're all screwed. Personal opinion, I think we're all screwed anyway as far as government crap goes. Because the ones we have now are cleaning up the mess from the ones before, so on and so forth, and then the next one's going to be cleaning up this one's mess, and it's just a whole big ordeal. Everybody always says, well, if I, you can say it all you want, but until you're in that predicament, you don't know what the hell goes on. I could sit here and say, well, I would do this, this, and this, where, who's the president? Trump. That's how often I pay attention to politics. Trump does this, and this. I wouldn't do that. I'd do this, and this. I can't say that. Why? Because I'm not in that situation. I don't want to get too far off topic with that. That'll be another video. But, guys, we gotta start. If you can't discipline your child, at least make ground rules and make it where they have to follow it. If they don't listen to you, take their phone away. And if you have to wait till they fall asleep to do it, wait till they fall asleep. Take their phone away. Let them get up. Worry about where that phone is and then ask them what's wrong. They got a TV in the room or a radio, take it out. I do it all the time. It's not worth you being upset and worrying about your child 24/7 because you can't discipline your child. There are other ways to discipline your children. A lot of parents are lazy and just don't want to do the work. We got to do better for our kids, guys. Do better. They deserve it, and so do we. Because when we're old, they're going to be the ones taking care of us, and I guarantee you a lot of us are going to be sitting in crappy and pee diapers with bed sores and bruises galore because they weren't taught how to deal with elderly or children. Think about it. Do better. We all have to. Okay? But that's it for today. And I will talk to you guys later. I think I'm going to go take a nap. Bye.